If you have upgrading heroes or are like me and you just love swagging heroes, then I have the perfect army for you. It combines the Barbarian Kicker, Giant Thrower, and Fireball, and you're going to be able to swag 3 heroes with this army. This is my favorite attack strategy in the Haaland event by a mile. It is so much fun to use. I didn't realize it was going to be quite as strong as this though. So you're going to see throughout this video, I continually swag more and more heroes in every subsequent attack. By the way, you just saw there, using the Barbarian Kicker to remove the Mortar. I mean, the Barbarian Kickers are so good at helping you maximize your Flame Flinger value. But yeah, in this video, the first replay, I'll swag just the Royal Champion. In the second attack, I'm going to swag the Royal Champion and the Archer Queen. In the third attack, I'm going to swag the King, Queen, and Royal Champion. And then the fourth attack, we're going to swag all 3 of those heroes yet again, but do it in a war attack. Now, this Fireball attack strategy is different to every other Fireball attack strategy. We are not prioritizing the Fireball here. We're prioritizing the Giant Throwers because they're a little less flexible. You can use the Fireball wherever you want and it's going to get value. The Giant Throwers, you do need to set them up, but I mean, how ridiculous was that? We didn't even get the last Giant Thrower to target the Expo as we wanted. It went after this Elixir storage, but still, Monolith, 2 Expos, CC, Invis Tower, and then we also activated the other Invis Tower in the core. Quite ridiculous value. Unfortunately, our Flame Flinger gets targeted here by the Expo. That should have already gone down. Now we're coming in with the heroes on the bottom side. Look at this, using the Giant Thrower as a wall break here. Opens it all up, quite ridiculous. Now I am using the Spiky Ball. The Rage Vial is fine, you don't really have to worry, although in the second half of this video, I'm not really going to use the Barbarian King at all. So this is one of the few attack strategies where it doesn't really matter what hero equipment you bring, but I will show you here as we use another Giant Thrower to put in huge value. Yeah. Not even a high level Fireball, by the way, so most of you can probably upgrade to this, particularly if you didn't upgrade the Spiky Ball. Hopefully you have some saved up ores, but yeah. Warden's doing his thing on the right hand side. Now, once this, by the way, I'm using the kickers to finish off these Expos that were weakened by the Giant Thrower. I probably should have used the Fireball here, but I completely forgot I hadn't used the ability. So I'm going to swag the Fireball as well in this first attack strategy. It's not often in a Fireball attack you see the Fireball swag. So yeah, pretty insane swag on this first attack. We've also got a whole host of spells left over here. Quite a few Barbarian Kickers. By the way, in the later attacks in this video, you will see me drop a few Barbarian Kickers for Super Barbs. So if you're not willing to spend the 25k to get the Super Barbs, then use this army. But yeah, later in the video, you will see we bring the Super Barbs because time failing is a real issue with this army. Let's up the degree of difficulty a bit. Now we're going to swag 2 heroes on this pretty common ring base, and it's definitely not a weak base layout whatsoever. Now I use the Barbarian Kicker here to remove the multi-mortar and also get rid of this gold mine, not for the Flame Flinger, but for the Warden charge, because I want my Warden to go up to the right here, and then we're going to have the Flame Flinger on the top side, set a funnel here to push my Warden into the core. Now you might be thinking, Hooked, there's a ground bow there. Why on earth are we Flame Flingering into a ground bow? Well, you can Flame Flinger anything now if you've got the Barbarian Kickers. So as soon as that Wizard Tower goes down, I'm just going to be on the safe side here. I get rid of the air defense, and then I'm going to target the Expo here, and our Flame Flinger is completely and utterly safe, and is going to set a beautiful funnel for the Warden here. So the Warden's doing his thing on the bottom side, and what I'm looking at the moment is what value can I get from my kickers, and I'm seeing this Ricochet Cannon as a really good anchor point, but we need all of these buildings down. So what am I going to do? We're going to put the King down with the Headhunter, and he's going to clear out this entire side of the funnel and make it really easy for our Giant Throwers to reach the core and do insane value. So I'm waiting for the multi-archer tower to go down here. It goes down. Now we can safely pop the Fireball, and look at the value it's going to get. We double Quake to finish all of that off. King's doing a great job on the outside of the base. I don't have any wall breakers with this army, so if I want the King to go into that compartment, we will use a Giant Thrower for that, as you can see on the left-hand side. But let's focus on these Giant Throwers. Look at this. Because I'd already double quaked the area and fireballed it. A lot of the buildings were weak anyway, but taking down the Eagle, Ricochet Cannon, and the Town Hall with 60 troop space is quite simply ridiculous. Now I use a Rage spell and my final 2 Giant Throwers, and then look at that. Unfortunately, I do miss the Poison Tower. I got it slightly wrong with that. But yeah, quite simply ridiculous. The Flame Flinger is still killing it on the top side. Warden charging through the core, and because the Warden has the Rage Gem, you find you often don't use all your Rage spells with this army, even though you're charging the entire base, because the Fireball and the Giant Throwers get rid of so much insane value. I'm still sitting on a lot of Barbarian Kickers here, so I can use them to get rid of the last buildings. I think I use 1 at the bottom, and the rest for the Tesla farm, and we're still sitting on a lot of swag spells here. The Yetis have only just come out of the Flame Flinger. This is racked. What is that? 6 swag spells, 2 swag heroes as well, and the troops from this Flame Flinger didn't do anything either. This is a good base, and it's just gotten crushed. But can we swag 3 heroes on a double invis base? I'm sure you all recognize this base. It is relatively common. So I'm Warden Walking the CC on the top side, using a Loon on the left side to get rid of the double cannons so that our Flame Flinger can come in and clear that all. Now, in a perfect world, I would not be Warden Walking the CC. I'd Fireball it, but I need my Fireball for the core of the base on this one, so kind of a necessary evil. Now, we're focusing down here because I want to show you I'm bringing the Super Barbs in. Now, you don't have to bring the Super Barbs if you're not trying to swag 3 heroes like me, but think of the last attack, right? If I didn't bring my King in the army, I wouldn't have been able to get the Giant Thrower value because all those buildings would have been on the outside of the base. So I bring 5 Super Barbs to get rid of the outside buildings, and now we're going to rage these Giant Throwers, and look at the value they're going to get. Goodbye, Eagle Artillery. And we even use the Rage to help the Headhunter take down the King, because killing heroes with this, when you don't have heroes of your own, is really difficult. The Barbarian Kickers and the Giant Throwers are not very good at dealing with defensive heroes. So that was the biggest problem I found when you're swagging 3 heroes of your own, because you can't really Warden charge all of them. So we're Warden Walking the Monolith on the top side. Flame Fling is still going really well, and I think any second I'm going to use 2 kickers on each of these Expos. Yep, it is a big investment, but they're not only going to get rid of the Expos, they're going to do a lot of cleanup as well, because time is ultimately the biggest enemy of this army. Now, whilst I'm sitting here, I'm thinking of what value can I get with my last Giant Throwers. I got really good value on the bottom, but there isn't a lot more on this base, so I put 2 of them over here, and look at this. I mean, that's pretty good value with 2 of them. Warden's doing his thing, and now we're focusing on the Warden. How can we maximize the Fireball here? Warden doing his thing. We're clearing out the bottom nicely. Well done to the Flame Flinger on the left-hand side too. And have a look at this. So the Warden targets the multi-archer tower here. The first invis goes off. The second invis goes off because of the Flame Flinger, but that's fine. We target the Tesla, and we get the whole core of the base down. Meanwhile, I did rage some what's his name? Some of the Giant Throwers on the right-hand side to get rid of the Scatter Shot. Sorry, I couldn't show that. There's so much going on here all at once. We have the Yetis out of the Flame Flinger, and we've got 35 seconds left and 2 spells. And I mean, look at it. Look at it. The Town Hall is now down. Only a couple of buildings left, and I couldn't believe it at this point in time. I could not believe it. This was one of the first attacks I did where I was trying to swag 3 heroes. Unfortunately, it is a little bit awkward here. The Warden obviously shooting the wall, and now he's shooting skeletons rather than shooting the Expo, but it's all going to be fine in the end. Warden starts shooting the Expo, now he's shooting the skeleton, and I was the saddest man in the world. Warden is throwing. After that last attack, I did continue trying to not use the King, Queen, or Royal Champion in all of the attacks you see here, but you'll also see 0 triples. I got as close as possible. I think 216 is pretty good on a day when you don't use 3 of your heroes at all. So I couldn't get the job done for you all in Legends League, but can I get a triple in War? What better way to finish this video than by trying this in War? Can I swag 3 heroes? I've got the right base for it. We can tell this is going to be a good layout. You can see all the Giant Thrower value, but can I pull it off? That is a whole other thing. So we're going to start the Warden here. The Sweeper's going to be a pain early, but that's okay. Let's just make sure there's no Teslas up here. Oh, I see you. Please. I haven't even looked at my warden yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm assuming the flame fling is okay. Okay. Off to a solid start. I would love to be able to... Come on, get the queen. Okay, we get the CC. I can live with that. Now we've got all these archers going around, and then I also want to put, like, you, and you. Okay, not a bad start. We got the flame flinger on the top side. Now you all know what's going to happen here. Just get your throw off. Okay. Admittedly, I did think that would finish them off. That's good to know for the other side, but we're still hanging on to 4 of them. Anything could happen here. We got the Inferno drag that came out. That's handy to deal with the king. That's exactly why I brought it, because dealing with these heroes is so annoying. It's quite difficult to do. See, this is just going to get really awkward now. I don't know how to keep my warden alive here. I have no idea how to keep my warden alive. Okay. Okay, we have a chance. I think we get it. No way. No way. I didn't even use any of the headhunters. That should chain both the Teslas. It's going to be annoying dealing with these skellies, though. And we did it. We swagged 3 heroes in a war attack with the power of the Kickers, Giant Thrower, and the good old-fashioned Fireball. I love this army. This is so much fun. Look at that. Swag spells as well. Now, don't get me wrong. Definitely works a lot better on the double invis bases, but it really shouldn't be possible to do this in the game. But we finally did it.